Good Saturday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles, SUVs, the camper, the pool, the attitudes, the dog, the turbo Kiefer. Hey, wow, good Lord, what another beautiful, incredibly beautiful day here in Northern Virginia, Maryland, DC area. Good morning for any of those that watch my channel. Thanks for waking up this morning and tuning in to the Ice Age TV antics, comments, attitudes, adventures. What a beautiful Saturday morning, and a great Saturday morning to go horseback riding. In fact, Gail and Brian are meeting my daughter and I at the ranch to watch her ride Prancer today. We got the Kiefer dog, the Prancer horse, all that good stuff. So we're gonna have some fun at the ranch, then go have some lunch together and exchange our views and ideas and thoughts as I clear my throat, can barely talk. Sorry about that. And it's just a Saturday morning. Reach out to say good morning to all my favorite, best subscribers that constantly watch my channel, which I so much appreciate. As I get the truck pulled out, which one do I pull out to get the garbage? Yeah, that's the project right now, is get the garbage out of here. And then after that, get up to the ranch to hang out with Gail and Brian, and hopefully have a great day. And wow, what a day yesterday. Corvette, love this thing. Brian out there wants this thing out of Georgia. Brian and Kay, good morning there to you and all your family. And all those, Don, Jenny, it's a Maddie, Meg, I can't keep track. And Don's nice truck he gave me. So nice of him to do that. Appreciate that very much. And all those that are interacting on a regular basis that do reach out to me and talk and comment, and thank you so much, because it makes the channel continue to go. And Bob out of Melbourne, Florida, he was funny. He saw what Kiefer did next to his Explorer ST that I told everybody I took from him, and he said, hey, don't let Kiefer be next to my Explorer ST and defecating next to it. So here's the Corvette. Had a great time in this car. Thing is so much fun, and I really never have taken this car really per se in any lengthy drive. And I did that yesterday, getting up to the Becky's RV to get some parts for my camper and some chemicals. And then I rode up to Battlefield Harley up there in Gettysburg. That's all in video from yesterday. And it was just a beautiful day to do all that. And you guys aren't going in because this isn't going to be a long conversation this morning for me. It's just a happy Saturday morning to all those on a beautiful, glorious day here in this area. And just me refreshing over this past week of the week of conversations, which on Monday we had the wrong conversation. And then Tuesday we had the dumb conversation. Wednesday we had the repeat conversation. Thursday we had the expensive conversation. Friday we had the lease conversation. And I just thought I'd wrap it up on those were the words of the day throughout the week, and the comments and the general discussion. And I thought it played pretty well to being through the week of the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump on, I thought that would all kind of flow together with those words. And if you were watching my channel yesterday, Kiefer dog, he's hitting so fast. And this Grom here, I mean, he is hitting 30 miles an hour. It is beyond believable. He is so fast. He's crazy. He's a crazy dog. He's a turbo dog, that's for dang sure. Gail and Brian truly get a kick out of watching that video. And I think was really neat, what I've always have tried to do on my channel is, she's like, we felt like we were riding the motorcycle, which that's always been my goal on my channel, is you're with me, and in some ways maybe you're, with the way I position the phone, that you're part of driving the vehicle. And that's what I did years ago. I used to think to myself, somebody that sadly didn't have the driving skills or didn't have the vehicle I have, whatever, they could go down the road and feel like they're in that car doing what I'm doing. And so back to the car antics and all the fun. And what's really cool is yesterday the trunk didn't work in this car. I thought I had blown a fuse, and I talked about this late yesterday in the video I made yesterday. This car, and the trunk wouldn't work, and so I had to use my key to get it open. I was tempted to start tearing apart the fuse box, go to Chevy dealership, and miraculously, it worked after I drove the car throughout the day. So what's really cool is I didn't touch the car, and I was so getting ready to take it to the Chevy dealer and have them look at it. But in the end, it is so cool on how the Corvette came back from the battery purchase, and the car rides so good. considering this car sits so much, I'm amazed that the tires don't have vibration in them and the car doesn't have a shake. It just is hard to believe this car is close to 10 years old, and it's one of my favorites. Right now, my favorites are definitely the Chevys. They really are. The Fords, yeah, it's challenging with what Ford's doing. I mean, it's classic. Ford, I talk about this stuff on my channel, and my channel just really is just nothing. It's really sad in so many ways that I've seen on my channel viewership has declined substantially. And not talking about short videos, the daughter videos, talking about the morning conversations, it just doesn't gain any traction at all. And I have such great subscribers out there that constantly like, man, I love your morning conversations, your content, and just keep it going. But for me, it's like, wow, the viewership is just so null. It's so bad. And, one time I was starting to see about 300, sometimes 400, sometimes even 500 to 800 views on my morning conversations. Not a lot, but here and there. But now it's really just down to 100 views, the 150, 180, 120 views. And it's just so disappointing because I bring so much information and content. But I know most people say it's because it's way too long. And I don't disagree with you on that. But at the same time, you see Jesse Waters and Dan Bongino and Joe Rogan. I mean, these are big time personalities. These guys have 45, 50-minute hour shows with interruption of commercials. I mean, there's a lot more to it. I get it. They're big time personalities that get the big exposure. But I'm just saying that you could say my conversations are too long, but at the same time, then why do the big wig guys out there have, look at Rush Limbaugh. That guy used to have his own AM station broadcasting every day. That was like a 3-hour segment. If you literally look at some of these very successful radio hosts, and I'm not comparing myself to Rush Limbaugh, but that was 3 hours worth of listening between the ads and the conversation, which you all knew that it was usually 20 minutes of conversation and 10 minutes of ads. If you ever have really tuned in to these people that go on radio or now satellite radio, XM radio, whatever you want to call it, as you drive down the road. And a lot of people, especially truck drivers and delivery drivers, people that work out of their cars, that was a lot of like solitude for them because of them driving down the road and hearing views and ideas that they weren't the only one looking at things at life, and they could resonate and connect with guys like Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh used to piss me off. As much as I listened to him, I just got madder and madder about the country we lived in and all the wrong things that are going on. I just couldn't do it. I had to let it go because it turns into you becoming, in my views, even more, more aggressive, more, maybe one-sided. You got to be careful on that stuff, and that's on my channel. I try not to go too hard on that. I try to keep it on kind of the open conversation to a degree. More people say, yeah, but you're more to the left. No, more to the right. People would probably like me to be to the left on certain aspects. But the point is, for me, wow, for all the time, all the effort, wow, it's just I'm blown away that after me doing this now for a good solid 2 years. I think it was about 2 years ago I started doing the morning conversations. But here's the thing. Jim Farley, I love this stuff because I have talked about how Joe Biden created the blueprint of China. We are hurt in the China's industrialization, governmentization, like never seen before, and it really is the facts. And I've talked about it in great length and time about how all Joe Biden has done is taking the same business model that China started back in 2000, and we're following that blueprint right into the hands of China. It's so bad. And this country, it is so bad that for me as an individual, I try to speak loudly about what's going on around us. And that's why I created Ice Age TV, because I knew this was going to be challenged to be getting rid of. Who has these type of names of channels that resonate to really what they own and do and love and have? I don't know. People have all these different goofy name channels out there. And so here's the thing. What scared Ford CEO in China? So here's Jim Farley. I think this guy is a terrible leader. He's not a good guy. He sucks. He really is. He's bad. Well, what is going on? This whole article talks about how China, you should read this article. It's a Wall Street Journal. And if you read this article, you're going to see that this guy has literally fallen into the hands of China on his EV agendas that he was so caught up in just 2 years ago. You go back to 2022, 2021, Jim Farley was pounding his fist that they're going to make everything electric, blah, 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 blah. And now he's going to China and he's seeing, which I talk about all the time. China has mastered the electric vehicle capability production to the point that they can make a car every bit as good or better than what Ford can make and GM can make and Toyota can make and Mercedes can make. The list goes on and on and on at a third of the price, maybe even half the price. So China is now the biggest, best manufacturer of building electric cars in the world. And now guys like Jim Farley and the CEOs of other major manufacturers, they're running scared. They see how China could just obliterate their businesses to the point that Joe Biden wants 100% tariff on any Chinese-built car ever being brought to this country because it's a known fact that the Chinese build a better electric vehicle. The technology in these things are insane. If you read that article, they already have these incredibly interiors on them. They have the technology. You're driving home, the car talks to your house, turns on all your lights, your television, your air conditioning, your heating. I mean, these are rolling computers in China like never ever seen. But the quality and everything else in it is what they're saying is beyond believable. Jim Farley, that's why Jim Farley, he's very concerned. If they can't keep China out of this U.S. domestic market, he knows what's going to happen to his company. It's going to be bankrupt. Yes, so it's so bad. But I talk about this. Does it get any traction on my channel? It does not. It just doesn't get any traction. People just are, well, who cares? Whatever. So, but you know what made me think about this too was that my friend Chris and Shannon, who are going up to Twig Cycle today to the Triumph demo day, he was asking me if I wanted to go. And I'm like, well, I already have plans with Gail and Brian, but that's the last thing I need to do is just go look at our damn motorcycle. But I don't want any more motorcycles. And the Triumph motorcycle is right there, the most I like, and that's it. And the story, I'm like, what are you going to get? Like, what are you going to buy? Why would you even want to go there? But anyways, he said, what is your favorite motorcycle manufacturer? I said, Honda. That's what I thought. Quality and resale reliability. That's why I like Honda. Right there. You just heard why I like Honda. Okay, so for Jim Farley, yeah, he's got a serious challenge. He used to be thought that Chinese stuff is all junk. That's all changing. Big time. You know, very interesting. I went to Battlefield Harley yesterday, which I'm really glad I did because it was a fun drive. And I was there back in 2004. I'll so never forget, back in 2004, it was probably February, maybe March. And my wife was carrying Julie at that time. She was due to be brought into this world like in May or June of that 2004 year. And so I'll never forget going up to that dealership and seeing this really badass Willie G production style motorcycle. And I was never a Harley guy per se, didn't really know the products, didn't know the line. So I could be wrong on that, but it was the coolest blue looking, like a soft tail motorcycle with a little fairing on it. Some of you may know what it is. It's on my channel. I loved that thing. I wanted that thing. And so I called my wife and asked her, and she was like, what? She was at work. What are you talking about? She's like, you have a child come in this world. Do you think I want her to have a fatherless childhood? She's like, you can't buy a motorcycle right now? I'm like, okay. Like, all right, bye-bye. So that idea went thrown out the window. It was 8 years later before I finally had the blessing in 2012 for my wife to say, okay. You know, some people think, oh, you just do whatever the hell you want to do. Well, yeah, to a degree, but at the same time, no. So the wife gave me the blessing in March of 2012 to be able to buy a street bike. And that was my first street glide used 2010 that I bought up there at Frederick Harley-Davidson with, I think, the 103 motor on it, I think, at that time. I don't think it was a 97. Could have been. So anyway, so it was a great ride in the Corvette. Great time. But you know what? I saw the Trike Tobacco Fade Harley, and oh my gosh, it's just too bad Harley didn't work harder to make a really much better package. Because then I'd probably own the Harley product, but I don't. It is just such night and day of what Harley's done. And in so many ways, they cut so many corners. They don't give you the luxury. It's just pretty hard to believe how much money you're going to pay for that Tobacco Fade Harley-Davidson motorcycle. And it's not going to have a heated seat. It's not going to have heated grips. It's not going to have like the LED lighting. It's not going to have the raked front forks. It won't have the, maybe it has the LED lighting. It doesn't have the screen that goes up and down. It doesn't have the capability for your home link and all your infotainment center, and then reverse it does have, but it's a different way of how you do it. And it doesn't have, in my eyes, the comfort that this has. And in so many ways, it's about the same price as this motorcycle with the Tobacco Fade. Tobacco Fade, you're up to like 44 grand. Well, yeah, this is like 48. That's all discounted. It'd be down to 46, whatever. But it's so much more motorcycle, so much better product. And I think it has more trunk room, which I know it does. This trunk destroys that trike Harley Davidson product. And then I still have the upper touring, the top case. So it just destroys it. And I'm so glad I never bought a Harley now. But what happened there when I left that yesterday, I really came to closure. I'm done with Harley. And somebody's like, what do you mean you're done with Harley? I've had my day with Harley. I've had like every one of their models just about. And I'm good. I don't want another Harley. I've got them. I'm more than happy and content with the Harleys they have. And I just can't see myself saying, oh boy, I can't wait till Harley releases this or that, and I'm going to go out and buy this or that. I'm done. I just really walked away from Balfour Harley. First time I ever really walked out of a Harley dealership, and I felt very strongly that I'm done. That I'm just done with that brand as far as wanting another new motorcycle from Harley. I don't. So there it is. I got to get the trash to dump. And the clock is ticking. Got to get things all in order to get over to hang out with Gail and Brian on the horseback day on a beautiful day. And then when I get back, I've got many, many tasks and many chores and many projects to do. So as always, just read those that are on my channel. But I really believe that for whatever reason it is, people don't get notifications anymore that my channel exists. I mean, I hear that conversation all the time. That people are like, oh, I'm unsubscribed. Yeah, I guess you are. Or it's more about, I just can't take this guy talking for 30, 40 minutes. I get that. Everybody have a blessed day. God bless. Oh, there is one other thing I do have to say. And that was something I really wanted to say this morning, and I kind of forgot all about it. And somebody fact-checked this. This is very concerning for me. And it's another thing I've been talking about a lot, is that we're going to go into war, and your son or daughter is going to be drafted. And this is very, very concerning, because what I've been told, if you go on X with Elon Musk and others, if you realize or not, in Ukraine, we've never given the arsenal to have long-range missiles to do really serious damage into like Russia's Moscow, into the heart and depth into Moscow. So they're saying, once again, you have to fact check it. I don't know if it's right or wrong. Could be misinformation. But my understanding right now is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris just finally did appease Zelensky of Ukraine of shipping him ballistic missiles that can now penetrate the real deep areas into Russia. Now, whether it's factual or not, and they're saying some of that reason is because we're just giving them so much money and they're not getting anywhere. So now it's going to open the door to the war being much more radical. And I'm very concerned for the well-being of our country and the younger generation, because I think this could possibly put us in a direct conflict and a war with Russia like never seen. And some will say, but we have such incredible technology, we'll just obliterate Russia overnight. Yeah, probably will. But then you got Chinese there, you got North Korea that supposedly does now have the real they supposedly do have now the atomic bomb, or whatever you want to call it. They got the stuff. I mean, it's not good. So just wanted to bring that up to you. And I was telling my daughter last night, you really need to reach out to your friends and say you got to be very careful of who's in charge right now and who you vote for the future of this country, because you may be voting to vote you in to be drafted into the military. Very concerning. This is not to be taken lightly for anybody who's on my channel. I'll be heartbroken to see my daughter go off to war, because the dumbasses that run this country right now that are running to the ground. That's the reality. If you don't like that, oh well, you'll just be another person who unsubscribes my channel. It is what it is. It isn't like my channel makes me any money. I don't even get paid anymore because of litigation, legal things going on behind the scenes. So there it is. Hey, have a great day. Ha!